right, hello wine drinking people. Time for more of what I've had to drink yesterday, and one of my favorite areas of the wine world, the Piedmont. We had one of the marquee producers here, Prunotto, owned by the Antinori family, and these guys make some very good wines at a very reasonable price. And, well, you know, everything in the Antinori portfolio is going to be really good in terms of quality. These guys have been making wine for 600 years in Italy. Well, not that long in the Piedmont, but they now have wineries all over Italy, Puglia, Umbria, and the Piedmont, of course, with Prunotto. And this first wine from Monferrato, Monpertone, I haven't had this one before. This is a Barbera and Syrah blend, a really unique blend for the Piedmont. It spends 12 months in small barriques. Has some of that pretty floral notes that you get from the Barbera, and some black truffle, some of those earthy characters you get from the Piedmont. That Syrah tends to round out the palate and make the wine very rich, gives it a little extra added richness, and ripe, luscious blackberry fruit. Has nice freshness, some tannins here also, but fairly drinkable, and you get some of that earthy quality on the finish. A very good little wine for $22.50, a unique blend from the Piedmonts. All right, the Pian Romaldo Barbera di Alba is up next. This wine's been vinified since 1961, and it's a Barbera just from outside of the DOCG of Barolo, and northwest facing vineyard, so it gets a little longer ripening time. Nice amount of black cherry and plum fruit, liqueur-like richness, some pretty floral notes here, a cooler climate, so you get a nice freshness to this wine, which is what Barbera is known for. They don't have the big tannins that Nebbiolo has, but still has wonderful acidity, so a wine that you can age if it's made in a serious fashion. This wine is, and it's got a solid core of dark cherry, berry fruit, nice freshness, those pretty floral notes, some of that black truffle spice at the end, a very good little wine at $33.75. Then the Barbera di Asti Castamioli, and this is a little warmer site, it's a little softer style, and very special site from the Nis, which is, I guess, an area I'm not familiar with in the Piedmont. This wine's got a very pretty floral nuance with nice exotic spices, good amount of ripe black cherry fruit, really nice richness and ripeness on the nose. A bit richer and riper than the Barbera di Alba, but still has nice freshness. As I mentioned before, Barbera's got good acidity, a bit more fruit, really good structure. This wine could last for a decade or more in your cellar. Excellent juice at $50.50. 2009, a great vintage for Barbera. All right, 2010 Nebbiolo di Alba Occhetti, and this is a single vineyard Nebbiolo from Roero, and very pretty nose here. Red cherry fruit, some pretty perfumed floral notes, rose petals, red licorice spice, really pretty red cherry fruit on the tongue with nice tannins, nice amount of spice here too, the floral notes, a light chalky finish here. Even though it's an entry-level Nebbiolo, still has some tannins, that chalkiness showing at the end. You could keep these entry-level wines though from 10 for 3 to 5 years easily. An outstanding vintage for Nebbiolo. Very good juice at $33.75. Barbaresco, which Barbaresco is much smaller than Barolo, only 5 villages in Barbaresco. This wine has got a good amount of red berry fruit here with rose petals, pretty floral notes, that red licorice spice, some white truffles, and a really rich wine on the palate. These 2011 already showing some nice drinkability here. Very forward for such a youngster. This wine's got pretty floral notes on the finish, and hey, it's still Barbaresco, it's still Nebbiolo. It has got some tannins here. This wine needs a little bit of time, but excellent juice at $49.50. All right, the Barbaresco Brick Tarot, which is from Treso, a more rustic style, and a good amount of fresh earth here, some wild herbs, some black truffle, some tar, a good amount of dark cherry fruit here as well. 2007, so it's showing a little development, but these 2007s have got wonderful structure here on the palate. Nice amount of dark spice, black truffle, and very tannic finish right now. Needs a little bit of time. It's $73.25. Hey, all we have is time, and with Nebbiolo, you can keep it for a long time. All right, the Prunotto Barolo, and old style here, production, 50 to 70 hectoliters. More elegant style of Barolo, these 2009s. Very approachable. It's got a lovely dark cherry fruit, notes of dried flowers, herbs, kind of toffee showing up. Really forward and seductive. And this is a big and chewy wine on the tongue, though. It is still Barolo, even in a forward year like 2009. These wines need time. It's got a solid core of black cherry, liqueur-like fruit. Some dry tannins here at the end, but nicely balanced here. Pretty floral notes, and a nice dark spice there, and a long finish. Excellent juice. All right, then the Barolo Busia. This is one of the top crus. It's a southwest exposure, so very easy to get ripe. This is another 2007 vintage wine, and this is the first. They were the first to do single vineyards here. 1961. I don't know if that's true because a couple hundred years ago they used to label wine from Barolo Canubi. which is a single vineyard site or area, a rather large one anyways. That's what they claim. And this wine, it's got a beautiful, rich bouquet here of black cherry, truffle, tar, dark spice notes, really well endowed, very complex, and even better on the second day. That is a sign of a truly great wine, and very large in size still. This wine's got a lot of dark berry fruit, really thick tannins and a firm hand of acidity here, that black truffle and earthy notes and dried flowers. Really long, complex finish. This wine needs time. Most excellent juice at $90 a bottle. It should be. All right, that's what we had to drink with our friends from Prunotto. I'm your host, Andrew Lampasoni, signing off for the Wine Watch, saying remember, always drink the good stuff first.